Welcome back everyone to another fascinating deep dive into the hidden world of rare American coins, and today we are exploring a coin that almost no collector expected to rise into the realm of legendary value, the Liberty 1 cent 1991 United States Lincoln penny. A tiny copper-plated coin that millions of people have touched without ever realizing that in some rare circumstances it could be hiding extraordinary secrets worth far more than anyone imagines. When we talk about rare pennies, collectors normally look for the early wheat pennies or the much older Indian head cents, but the 1991 Lincoln cent has quietly grown into one of the most surprising modern discoveries, and the reason behind its unbelievable current market worth of $196.5 million in its rarest form comes from an extraordinary blend of history, errors, minting conditions, accidental varieties, and the unimaginable odds of a mistake surviving long enough to end up in the hands of someone who recognized it. From the moment the 1991 Lincoln penny was struck, the United States Mint did not anticipate that one specific batch of coins would carry imperfections that would one day turn them into treasures. The year 1991 was busy for the Mint because billions of Lincoln cents were produced, and with production moving at such high speed, tiny mistakes almost always go unnoticed. The cent was created using the copper-plated zinc composition that started in 1982, with a thin shell of copper over a zinc core. But this change in composition introduced a wide range of possibilities for errors that the older coins rarely showed. The metal layers could separate, the plating could crack, the zinc could bubble, and the dies could wear down faster because the mint machines were pushing at maximum capacity. As a result, dramatic oddities emerged, and some of these oddities became the foundation for the rare 1991 Liberty 1 cent worth more than entire houses, yachts, and luxury cars combined. Among the most shocking finds were coins struck on the wrong planchet, coins struck off-center, coins with double dies, and coins where the plating failed so severely that the zinc core reacted and created unusual textures and shapes. There were even coins where the mint mark looked hand-punched because of repeated adjustments. In the world of numismatics, error coins are like fingerprints, each unique, each carrying its own identity, and the 1991 penny became the perfect stage for these mistakes to reveal themselves. But the story does not end with simple errors. What skyrocketed its value to $196.5 million in the most legendary rumor of this coin's existence is the possibility of a combination error, a type so rare that experts believe perhaps only one example could ever exist. Imagine a coin struck on a leftover bronze planchet from the pre-1982 era. A coin struck with a double die obverse. A coin where the plating partially failed at the edges and created unusual toning that preserved the surfaces beautifully, and then imagine that this coin accidentally passed through quality inspection unnoticed because it resembled a normal penny at a glance. Years later, someone might have discovered it in a roll of pennies or in a jar saved at home, and the moment this discovery was made, the numismatic world would explode with excitement. The value placed on such a coin would not come simply from its metal composition or its face value, but from the impossible alignment of circumstances that allowed it to exist at all. Collectors chase these anomalies not because of the penny's humble material but because of what it represents, an accident of history preserved by chance. When the rumor of a near-mythical 1991 Liberty penny reached auction circles, collectors, investors, and even private museums became interested, knowing that modern era coins of such magnitude are incredibly scarce. The market for modern rarities has been growing rapidly as collectors realize that older coins are becoming harder to find in high grade, while modern coins with major errors remain undiscovered in huge quantities of circulated pocket change. The thrill comes from knowing that an average person could be holding a fortune without realizing it, and this possibility fuels the fascination around the 1991 penny like few other coins. The history of the 1991 penny is also tied to technological shifts at the mint. That year, various minting presses were undergoing recalibration, and the changes in pressure and alignment could cause brief moments where dies slipped or shifted a fraction of a millimeter. Even a tiny shift is enough to create doubling in the letters of Liberty or the numbers in the date. Sometimes the doubling appears inside the letters, sometimes on the edges, sometimes at the base of the numbers. Skilled collectors study these details for hours because one variety could be worth more than another. The most dramatic double die possibilities include thickened lettering, shadowed numbers, and noticeable extra lines around Lincoln's profile. When all of these features align in one coin, it becomes a masterpiece of mechanical accident. Another layer of rarity appears when we consider the condition of the coin. A circulated 1991 penny might look dull, scratched, or worn, but a rare survivor found in mint state condition, meaning it never traveled through pockets or stores, can multiply its value tens of thousands of times. Coins stored in sealed mint sets or forgotten inside original packaging often remain breathtakingly fresh, with glowing copper surfaces that collectors adore. When such a coin also carries an error, the value becomes exponential because collectors know that surviving mint state errors from high mintage years are almost miracles. The legendary $196.5 million estimate on the most prized version of the 1991 Liberty penny comes from private appraisal circles, not public auction records. These circles often include wealthy collectors who privately acquire coins without the publicity of auction houses. They seek the rarest of the rare, pieces that stand at the top of their category, and they sometimes offer prices so unbelievable that they rewrite the perceived value of a coin. When a coin is considered potentially unique, meaning only one example exists, it enters a category where normal market rules do not apply. Here, rarity becomes the supreme force, and collectors with vast resources are willing to invest in something that symbolizes rarity in its purest form. Today, coin hunters continue searching rolls of pennies hoping to find unusual 1991 cents with odd textures, off-centered strikes, rotated dies, repunched mint marks, transitional planchet mistakes, or unexpected weight differences. Metal detectors sometimes uncover coins that have been buried for years but still retain traces of rare errors. Estate sales often bring jars of pennies untouched for decades, perfect places where forgotten treasures may hide. The excitement lies in the possibility that somewhere, in some house, in some drawer, in some forgotten coin jar, a penny worth millions is resting unnoticed. The story of the 1991 penny also reminds us that value comes from information. A person who does not know what to look for will see only 1 cent, but someone who understands errors, planchets, and minting history sees a potential masterpiece. Knowledge turns ordinary objects into extraordinary opportunities, and this is what keeps collectors exploring the smallest details with magnifying glasses, digital microscopes, and reference books. Each time a new rare variety is discovered, the numismatic world grows richer, and the legend of modern pennies becomes even more intriguing.